All right, my friends, are we ready to frame it one more time? Okay, so right now I want to talk to you about an often overlooked part of the founder journey, not just founder journey, but any product building journey. And the reason it's usually overlooked is because it's a bit hard. And that phase is called customer development. Okay? Before you start building a lot of your product, you want to make sure that you understand the customer need. You understand that there will be customers for whatever product you're building. And more importantly, that you are ready to revise your thought process based upon what you learn from your customers. But in order to do that, you must be disciplined in how you approach your customers. You can't just go to a customer and say, I have this particular product, would you use it? Uh, Number one, it's not a great um, way to approach the customer. But number two, you're putting the customer in an awkward position. They don't want to infuriate you by saying no. So they're going to say something like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty neat. Yeah, when you've developed it further, let me know. Maybe I'll pay for it." Uh, Read a book called The Mom Test if you haven't already, for how you want to engage with customers. Okay? And here I want to show you how your frame employees can help you with a lot of that journey of customer discovery, because they do bake in a bunch of the mom test principles. They help you go through a bunch of the execution and help prep you for your interview with customers, and then also help you with making sure that any interview notes you have are well captured. You understand the level of customer fit, etc. So let me walk you through a few of the jobs in that journey. The first one you want to run is customer prospect discovery, right? It builds on existing knowledge that your employee already has about what your product is trying to solve. Uh, Given that information, it will now open up LinkedIn, X, Reddit, um, Facebook, if that's appropriate for a B2C kind of product, uh, Hacker News, and all the relevant places. And if some of them require logins, they'll pop up a browser and they'll ask you to log in. Do not give them credentials, just log in for them for this session. Uh, and then they should do a comprehensive search for you and come back with a prospect inventory as a CSV, as well as a markdown document that talks about why it believes, or why your employees believe, that the customers that they chose are the right ones, why they've got the same pain points that your product is trying to solve, and how you should go talk to them, right? So that's one important job. The second one is, sometimes it's hard even to just get in touch with those customers, even though they may be their needs as expressed on any of these sites, maybe exactly what your problem's solving. The problem today is that everyone's being bombarded by messages, and almost every founder claims that they've got the panacea for user issues. So participant recruitment is really about how do you approach these particular customers in a way that doesn't sound artificial, but does have a hook for that particular customer. And in order to do that, once again, your employee will go through LinkedIn and X, understand the profile, understand what kind of posts this customer or this user interacts with, what they like, who they follow, and tailor a recruitment message towards them uh, on your behalf. Right? Um, the next job is interview preparation. Right? Once you have an interview determined, or you've got a customer who you're going to go interact with, you want to be structured in how you approach the interview. You don't want it to be a ramble. You don't want it to be completely free form. You want to give it some structure so that you can then get the most information from the customer and leverage it to build your product. This is where the mom test really becomes important, and your AI employee over here through Frame will make sure that they prepare you with the knowledge of who this person is you're talking to, what their interests are, how their interests might marry with your product, uh, and then give you a set of questions that you should be asking them and some things to avoid. Okay? So use this job before you go have interviews with your customers. And once you've had the interview with your customer, whatever notes you've taken, no matter how raw they are, give these notes to your employee. Again, /frame process interview notes, right? Just point them to here's the person I talked to, here are the notes that I took from it, and expect to see a high quality sort of artifact that distills the key pieces of information that you got from this customer, quotable quotes, things that help shape your product direction, and a score that is important. That score is the fit score for this customer, right? Does this customer have an urgent need for the product you're building? Would they be willing to pay for it? Did they fit the right ICP segment based upon the conversation, right? That'll help you prioritize which customers you need to go back to once you have your thoughts further refined. And then finally, once you're done with a bunch of customer interviews, because once again, this is the phase of the founder journey that's going to define whether you're going to see success later or not. Once you've had a bunch of customer interviews, then go ask your employees to triage these customer needs. Your employees will go through all these different interview notes, and just like you would at work, it's going to go ahead and they're going to go ahead and prioritize which ones of these seem to be more more applicable across either different customers or just seem like urgent needs from a few customers that are monetizable, to the earlier point on the customer fit score. So expect your employees now to go through all these different notes and learnings and come back with suggestions on here are the top sort of product features you should go build, a prioritized order, and then offer to create them for you in your sort of repo of choice, whether you use issue tracking in Jira, GitHub, ADO, GitLabs. All of these are things that your Frame employees are pretty familiar with, and they will help you create those items in prioritized order. I won't get into the details of user survey management, but this is yet another way in which your employees can help recruit customers by sending out surveys on LinkedIn, surveys that really check into, who has this particular pain point. Right? So these are all different ways in which you can engage with customers, get critical information for your product from your customers. So don't skip this phase. Really spend some quality time on customer development, but have your Frame employees do a bunch of the legwork so you can spend your time talking to customers and gaining insights. I hope this phase is going to be great for you all. So keep rocking it and keep framing it every day.